There you go. Yeah, let's see. All right, there you go. I'm gonna go ahead and pin it to the speaker. All right, finally got everybody admitted into this one. Scott, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here and mastermind with us.
Absolutely. Well, it's great to meet everybody, and Jay, how do you want to start off?
There you go. So I'm just going to pin you as the speaker. Okay, I want to start off with once again letting everyone know that I'm really grateful because Scott's taking time out of his day. He's located right now in Arizona, right? So people that don't know who you are, definitely want to start off with your story. Like, how did you?
Absolutely.
Like, from the beginning, where are you from?
Okay, so originally I'm from England. So I moved over to the US in 2016. And, kind of wanted just a little transition in life, and kind of thought, hey, moving to the States would be a great idea. So that's what I did. I originally started off working at a summer camp, just to kind of get my foot in the door and give me somewhere to live when I moved out here. And one of my friends was like, hey, you should think about getting into real estate. And I was like, that sounds like a terrible idea, because that's just not who I am or what you mean. Like, what, have you met real estate agents? They're awful people, that kind of mentality. And then, I kind of thought, well, we'll give it a go, and I gave it a go. And I worked with a boutique brokerage out in a place called Prescott, Arizona, which is north of Phoenix, about an hour and a half. And, I think I closed like 5 transactions with them, and I really thought, this isn't really my gig. What am I going to do? And I kind of thought, well, hey, I'm going to give this one last stab. I'm going to move to a completely different part of Arizona. I'm going to join a different brokerage, and I'm just going to see how things go. So, coming from a boutique, I thought, let's try something completely different. Let's join Keller Williams. So I joined Keller Williams, ended up in Scottsdale, Arizona, and literally the rest was history. Keller Williams really taught me, with all its training and stuff like that, how to find, kind of hone my skills and really put my business on steroids. And the networking opportunities is next to nothing with whatever any other brokerage can offer. And really, the rest was history. I tripled my production as soon as I joined KW. I went from literally producing $2 million right up to nearly $10-16 million, and it just snowballed from there. And right now we're on track to do about 40 million this year.
Wow, 40 million.
Yeah.
So
and it's just me and my partner. I'm the real estate agent, he's the admin, and we just rock it. So we're always at it.
So it's just 2 people. It's just you and your admin.
Yeah, me and my
admin. Wow. So I'm going to continue this. So those of you that just joined there, so join in late. Scott's sharing a bit about his story. I'm going to ask you some prompted questions. And then towards the end, obviously we have agents that probably came prepared with questions themselves.
Absolutely.
So one thing about you, Scott, is Arizona to me was so random when I was talking to people, right? I was like, from the UK to Arizona. What did you do differently? So I know you said you came to KW and it helped triple your income, but what decisions or what activities did you do that helped line it up? You created a baseline, or what was it? Did you read a certain book?
Yeah. So I joined KW because of the national outreach that KW has. And coming from a boutique brokerage, I really seen that my networking opportunities were severely limited. So, I was like, okay, we're going to join a bigger brokerage, and people are moving to my state from other states. So I need to get to know who the agents are that are sending clients this way, and that was one of my first systems. Was I was committing myself to give 5 agents a call. I think you were one of them at one point.
I actually was. That's how we met.
5 people a call a day. To make these connections. And there was this book right here. It's called The 7 Levels of Communication by Michael Mayer, and he's a KW agent as well. Was one of the turning points of, me being able to quantify kind of relationships and put them into something that I could organize and systemize. They have this great thing called the communication pyramid in this book. And like I said, it really quantifies these different levels of communication and what's most effective, for when you're speaking and talking to people. As my business started kind of rolling up, was around about March 2020. So then it was COVID. Okay. So then like my whole systems and models had to change again. And I honestly seen the most growth from like March 2020 right up until the following March the next year. That's where I seen the most growth, because there was a lot of people at home, a lot of agents at home, and I was able to call them and get on their schedules, and just start dialing, using the same models that I was using for clients. I shifted that towards agents. I think you're on mute. So yeah, that's kind of how kind of shifted it into the next gear. And yeah, it was definitely a learning curve. Speaking to agents is a lot different from speaking to clients. But what's great about KW is that we all have that KW culture and the want to support and learn with other people. So, it made calling other agents much easier than it was calling actual like cold calling clients and like robo dialing and stuff like that. So I was able to develop things a lot quicker and make those relationships. Oh, I can hear you now.
Oh, yay. Oh, my microphone disconnected. I was like, not right now, please. Yeah, how I met you was you have a high level of follow-up and accountability. So you're building, so everybody knows, what was your GCI last year? And what's your GCI so far?
GCI last year was just over $200,000, and GCI right now is, what are we at? We're at 221,000. So we're already done more than we did last year, and literally I would say probably about 80% of that is agent to agent referrals.
Wow. And you're really good at that. So how do you build that system out, Scott? Because I got a postcard from you, email, and a phone call when we first connected.
Yeah.
So I was blown away, and I immediately called you back, remember? And I was like, how are you doing this? So
yeah. So
man,
again, I have a great admin who has much better handwriting than I do, and so he helps a lot with that. It's when it comes to like referrals and stuff like that, it's all about numbers. It's a numbers game. Even Gary Keller himself said, real estate is a numbers game. So is referrals. You want to get out and touch as many people as possible and touch them effectively. So how I approach that is, at one point I had something like 2,000 agents in my database. And I was like, there's no way I can keep in contact with 2,000 people at the same time. What are we going to do this? So we started going through that list of 2,000 agents and prioritizing our relationships. We prioritized them from A, B, C, and D. And, we said, okay, well, this person we've only been in contact with a couple times, this was XYZ with the relationship with them. So we're gonna mark them a D. And my Ds get touched, I think it was like 6 times a year. They get like a postcard, they get a couple emails, and it's that kind of communication. Now my Ds are also my biggest base of people. I mean, right now I think we have over 6,000 agents classified as a D in our database.
Wow.
And they get touched 6 times a year. And we try and automate that as much as possible. So because there's no way I'm gonna be in contact with 6,000 people at the same time, right? So we try and automate that as much as possible. So we automate the postcards, we automate the emails, and they really don't get like a phone call or a text message or anything like that off me until like, we've had that 2-way conversation. So, either they've emailed me back going, hey, I got your email, let's connect, and then we have a phone call. Once that has happened, then we grade them a C. They move up in our database to a C. Our Cs get a little bit more love, they get a little bit more kind of stuff. They even get like automated text messages that say, hey, we're going to be at this event. Would you like to meet up? Some people text, some people don't. And if they do, great, and if we actually do a person-to-person meet or they send me a referral, they get marked up again. They get marked up into a a bee in my database. And again, bees get more love, they get more interaction, they get personal phone calls, that sort of stuff. And that's how we really start to kind of, quantify these relationships and like try and build quality relationships, out of the huge quantity that we have. And again, our A's are our multiple partners that we have done multiple deals with and stuff like that. And we really, we send them a lot of love. That's honestly where most of our marketing goes. Our marketing budget is for our A agents.
Wow. So you really built kind of what the MRE says, but at a level with agent to agent referral business.
Yeah. So my greatest talent is being able to, and my boyfriend will say this all the time. He'd be like, you take something and you use it for something that's not meant to be used for. And I'm like, yeah. So I always say taking the cannon, turning it in a different direction and firing it somewhere else, doing something a little bit different from what other people are doing, but using the same systems and models because they work.
They do work.
You just got to be creative and think of, well, how am I going to use this to be different, stand out from the crowd, and also, support and build stuff for my business. And that's exactly what I did.
That's incredible because you're basing it off of models and systems. Are you still doing, do you apply the same systems to non-referral business?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's really quite easy to kind of transfer that for my lead follow-up for my clients. We have referrals isn't our only leg of lead generation. One of my coaches said to me, there's 4 legs to a table, right? So there's 4 legs to lead generation. Referrals is our strongest leg. And if we had a 1-legged table, it could stand, but we like to have other legs to our lead generation. So we do have other forms of lead generation, which we use these same models for. We just tweak them slightly so they're more proficient in that area.
Wow, that's incredible. So how do you meet these agents? Are you meeting them at family reunion? Are you going to the KW events, or is it Facebook groups?
Yeah, so I'm really precise to when I'm looking for what kind of agents I'm looking for. So, I'm based in Scottsdale, Arizona. We have a lot of people moving from, California, a lot of people moving from Portland, Seattle, and that's those kind of things. So I aim for a lot of agents in those areas. And I typically look for the agents who are in the top 30% of the market center, and usually Keller Williams agents. I kind of look for those because I like the standard that Keller Williams has. We do network with other agents outside KW, but our main focus is KW agents because the information is easy accessible on the referral section. There's a certain standard with KW that we like, the culture that we like, and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we aim at, and we call those our feeder states. So where people are moving to or from, they're the people that we call. I have a lot of friends in Oklahoma, but no one's moving to Phoenix from Oklahoma. So, I don't really have that many Oklahoma referral partners. But I have one.
Yeah.
So that's really kind of what we kind of focus on, is where people are moving from and who are the agents that are doing the business with those people, and also where are people moving from Phoenix to somewhere else, we want to be in contact with those agents as well.
How do you get this data?
How do I get this data? Through the KW command, the referrals. So you go in there and you can, it's really, really simple. You can find each market center where they are, and it has the address. And then it also shows you, the agents in there, who are the top producing agents, who are the newer agents, who are the agents in KW luxury, and all those other things as well. We do a lot of luxury inventory, so we try and connect with as many luxury agents as possible, because there's always that transfer, and I think now in this shifting market, having these relationships is going to be what's going to set us aside from everybody else, because say if I've got a $20 million listing, more than likely that $20 million is going to be California money. So, I'm going to need to know who your investors are, because they're the people who I'm going to be marketing to. So more than ever are these relationships going to become more prevalent and more important in our businesses.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I think building relationships with other KW agents is brilliant, and the fact that you're able to just see someone and find their information and connect with them. So what is your process? You see an agent, you think you go after what they're top producing, you find their information out. So you just find them on social media,
So no, you can, this is all through KW referrals. You can find out how many, what their inventory is, what the volume is, what they're producing for the last 12 months. And they're the people that we aim for, you know, right here, right after this call, here's my call list, you know, of, where's my camera? Here's my call list of all my people that I'm calling today. And I have maybe 40 people that I'm calling. And that will take me till later on today. And yeah, you know, these are just not everyone picks up, and that's fine. I find I usually have about a 50% success rate. So if I do 100 calls, I can get 50 people to answer the phone.
Yeah,
that's fine. They're good numbers, because that's 50 connections I've made.
so your primary focus, I love it, and I love this about you, and that's why I wanted to teach this, is you have a specific time block committed strictly to connecting with other agents. And what does your script look like?
My script. So my script is pretty much, I introduce myself, I tell them exactly what I want, you know. One thing that I try to be really like, it's really easy to sound like you're trying to sell insurance. And a couple of times I've had that conversation where there was this one agent, and it was actually kind of a really unfortunate story, because I actually had a referral for her area. And she was like, are you trying to sell me insurance? And I was like, actually, no, I'm interviewing for for a listing, so sorry. It was kind of rude, but whatever, you know. But that's definitely, you know, one of my scripts is, you know, I'm really direct, you know, like, you know, I'm like, Scott Bryant, Keller Williams in Scottsdale, do you have a quick moment for me? And that's kind of how the conversation starts. And they go, hey, yeah, what are you after? And I was like, well, hey, I'm looking for referral partners. Is that something you're interested in? And then we just go on from there. The first conversation is more kind of telling them a little bit about me. I called them, so I'm going to tell them about me. You know, and then if they want to tell me about their business, great, awesome. And that's kind of phase one. As soon as I have that conversation with someone, that they get probably get my database, they get graded to C, because we've had that two-way conversation. Kind of phase two is kind of, you know, seeing if I can get them on my calendar, or if I can get on their calendar for a person-to-person meet at MegaCamp. I don't know, I've got the luxury symposium coming up in October. There's an event in Las Vegas coming up. So I'm always inviting my referral partners to these events, being like, hey, let's meet up. Because once you meet someone in person, that connection's a lot more solid than just over the phone. And that's in this book. Read this book, The Communication Pyramid. Blew my mind, changed my models. And that's what all my models are based around. So that's kind of like my script and the system I have.
Man, I'm just blown away, because the type of, I wish I should have honestly thought about bringing up an example of your email, and I probably will do that while you start talking about the next question I'll ask you. But those of you listening, it's a very personal email. It has a picture of you. Your logo is the first thing I see. It's a picture logo of you, and it talks about an event you invite for, like family reunion meetups and stuff like that. So do you have different what are your tactics behind that? So your admin has a smart plan that they just send out to these people?
Yeah, so these smart plans are triggered by our tags. So which is great. I mean, like I used to be the tech trainer for my market center. When I first joined KW, they're like, hey, we need a tech trainer. Do you want to be it? And I'm like, yeah, sure. It's like, how well do you know Command? And I was like, I don't, but I'm going to learn it real quick. You know, so I jumped into the tech trainer role, not really knowing anything about Command, but the whole idea was to get to know it so well that I could teach it. And that's kind of one of the kind of facets I started doing. So I learned a lot of tricks and tips with the different campaigns, opportunities, and stuff like that. And I love the fact that I can set up a smart plan, and it can go for over a year. And all I got to do is tag someone A, B, C, or D. Boom, done, you know, and then I don't have to think about that again. And all that automated system which I built just starts ticking away, and I'm always in front of that person. And, you know, I think, like, I had a text message that went out on one of my smart plans last week. I already got 2 referrals from it, you know.
I'm really impressed. I'm over here like frantically scrolling to find these emails, and like the first one I found is check out the record-breaking listing in Scottsdale. The mastermind
stuff like that. We try and keep it as current as possible, and, you know, with stuff that's happening in our market as well, because here's again, going back to this market shift that we're in, it's incredibly important to know not what's just going on in your market, but also what's going on in other people's markets and in your feeder markets, because then someone got a question, Sophia?
Yes. Yes, hi. I'm Sophia. I'm the OP here at KW The Lakes, and nice to meet you, Scott. Thank you for taking the time to do this.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Um, I love. I have a question for you. Did you customize build all your smart plans?
Yes, I did. So I didn't use any of the templates. I custom my own smart plans with my own stuff because I wanted to really put my own kind of stamp on it. And also the fact my kind of way of learning is if I'm using someone else's template, then I don't know exactly how that works. So I wanted to make my own. So I knew exactly, what happens on day 31 in my C smart plan. Well, I know that because I made it. So that's how I kind of did that because like I said, going back, I tried the templates and stuff like that, but because it was someone else's work, and I didn't make it. I didn't know what it was working. It was easy just to add someone to it, but I didn't know what it was doing, right?
Yes. So did you? How much time was invested in building them up front, your systems?
So I would say, I mean, I had my admin help me as well. With the actual smart plans, if you know what you're doing and you have an idea and you have like a standard 36 touch program anyway, you can adapt that into it. I would say it would took me about maybe about a week to kind of put everything into place, and I'm constantly tweaking it as well. I mean, a great piece of art is never finished, right? And that's exactly where my smart plans are. Like, I don't think they'll ever be finished because I'm always making changes to them.
Yeah, and one of the things I want all our agents to hear, we have 30 participants on here. And I want you to hear this loud and clear. Hear me on this. The KW referral network is the largest referral network in the planet because we have the largest sales force in the world. We have 200,000 agents locally and worldwide. So being part of Keller Williams, you're like, what's my value proposition? You're part of the largest network, and if you know how to work the system, you can log in, and everybody is ranked by listings sold and buyers. So you can log in, put any city, large city that, there's websites that tell you what city, what state everybody's moving out of California or coming in from. So those are probably the main cities that you want to target, and you create a business model around it where you are like Scott has done. So you have access on your command how to do it, and if you're saying, well, I don't know how to use command, well, guess what, do what I did, and stop trying to have someone else do it for you. No one's going to learn this for you. What I did is I spent an entire Saturday, all day, and half a day of Sunday, and I did the 66-day challenge by myself so I could know it. This is not something you can leverage. This is something you have to learn. Oh, I want my assistant to do it, I'm too busy. No, unless you have 20 escrows, you're not too busy.
Yep.
And that's the whole point. And there is, you can obtain the referral network and work at a high level. I would say 25% of my sales in 2018, I did 81 sales by myself, and I did 28% of those came from agent to agent referrals because I invest in going to mega camp, family reunion, masterminds at KW, and I'm intentional about building relationships with these agents that are top producers, just like Scott. I'm like, okay, I plan out my calendar, fly a day early, stay a day late, and then I'm like, okay, I have time to have a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner with 3 people right there I'm going to connect with, or I even put masterminds together where I invite people together. So
Yep.
This is a huge way to add an additional couple $100,000 of income to your family. And in a way, if you hate cold calling, then master something else.
Yep.
So hear me on this.
Yeah. And I was the exact same way. So, I was definitely one of those agents that sat down with Mojo Dialer and tried to call a neighborhood and realized, oh, geez, I'm terrible at this. This isn't my thing. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do well in this business. I just need to find out what I need to shift and move on to. And it was the agent referrals. I had stuff to give to other agents. I had value to give to other agents. Not like I say I don't with clients, I do. But at the time, that wasn't my forte. Well, now I can jump on the phone and Mojo dial with clients or with neighborhoods all the time now. But I needed that running start, and this helped me.
Yeah, absolutely. I have an example. I'm going to screen share right now. So let me start the screen share. Let me know if you guys can see this screen right here. Do you guys see it?
Yep.
All right. So this is an example. Thanks for sending me these again, Scott. This is an example of Scott inviting me, or his assistant, to one of our masterminds. We're both in the KW Rainbow Network. If you guys don't know, KW has multiple networks that you guys could be a part of. But you can see here, this is an example. The first thing I see is, hey, Jay, it's Scott in Scottsdale, Arizona, right? And that's me about the thing. And then another example is this one here. where this is the one that you first send out to people. So you guys can see, hey, Jay, got your information from the white pages. My name is Scott. He immediately says, he says, I saw you're a team leader, right? So it's catered to me. How smart is that? And he says, I'm looking for a couple agents to add to my referral network. Who do you have in mind in your market center? I like how you spell it like this. That's the way you spell it in the UK, huh?
Yeah, I should probably spell it differently, shouldn't I?
That's okay. I like it. I like your
That's how you can tell I wrote it.
Yeah, but look how awesome, because he's very
Yeah.
precise and he has it specifically a team leader to connect with so many people. I just want to show off these emails because it is branded to you, like all of these. Look at this. And
have
the
a
first
question-
thing
I
I
have a
see is
question.
this, is his logo. Boom, boom, boom. I want to show you a quick email and another mastermind opportunity. So
Yeah.
here's a couple of examples. I'll stop. How do I stop screen share? Oh, there you go.
I do love, I think one of the biggest things to add value to agents in my network is to invite them to masterminds, because masterminds, when I started doing them with KW, was where I seen the biggest moves forward in my business and in my mindset as well. I mean, just yesterday I was in a mastermind that was talking about Google reviews. And we were like, well, hey, why are we just asking for Google reviews off our clients? Why aren't we asking them from our referral partners too? Well, my Google review just went up 15 reviews from yesterday, because I thought, yeah, I'm going to send a text out to all my referral partners. Can you leave me a review about how great of a referral partner I am? And I'll do the same for you. Perfect. Boom. And it's stuff like that, these little tiny things that you can learn from these masterminds, which is going to grow a bigger picture for you.
So I take it that you're on your calendar to go to all the conferences for KW. And what I noticed is that you piggybacked on an event that was already happening.
Yeah.
You're smart. He's not spending time or money inventing. Like, he's saying, there's already a mastermind in the Rainbow Network. I'm just gonna invite my referral partners to meet up with me there, because he piggybacked. That's so genius.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
mean, it's the Rainbow Network has been around a lot longer than I was even thinking about being in real estate. It's been around for about 10 years. And it's a niche network full of agents. And yeah, they have this Zoom call. And I was like, why I should invite my referral partners to this as well, and if they get value from that, great. And that's something which I started doing. And, I mean, that network runs itself, but I'm a big part of that network now, because, I'm calling all the new agents, I'm inviting people into it and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Absolutely love it. It's such a high level of being. So you guys, this is a mastermind too. And Scott, thank you so much. And I know we're right on track where I wanted to be. Did you guys see the email? And now's a chance, if you guys have any questions, please take yourselves off of mute or off, show your faces and ask a couple questions. We have him here. He has given his time. Does anyone have any questions?
I do. So for your smart plans, do you personally write the birthday cards to the other agents, or do you do stuff like that for the agents to kind of stay top of mind?
Yeah. So when I mean, initially, yes, I wrote my own birthday cards and stuff like that. And then when I realized how bad my handwriting was and how good my partner's handwriting was, I was like, hey, you got a new job. So now we still have that system in place to where we do send out birthday cards to our referral partners and our clients. I don't physically write them because you wouldn't be able to read them even if I did. So, but I mean, initially I wrote all my birthday cards, I wrote all my postcards and stuff like that. Yeah. And I honestly, it was one of the first things I did every morning, and I found it more as my therapy. Like, if it was like 7:30 in the morning, I just got into the office, I sat down behind my desk and I just started writing my cards, and that was one of the first things I did in the morning, was write all my cards. And my market center hates me because I always had a stack of cards to put in the mail for them. Here you go.
I'm sure they love the numbers you brought in, though.
I'm sure.
Does anyone else have any other questions, you guys? I know they probably do. I know I can see the chat box going.
I have another question, Jay. Scott, how are you? This is Marcelino. Quick question for you. I'm trying to just clarify. So do you receive the referrals, or do you send out the referrals, or is it both?
Both. Yeah. So when I send out referrals, I only send out referrals to my A's. So you have to be an A in my database for me to send you a referral. And that doesn't mean that an agent that I'm just in contact with can't become an A. You can become an A very quickly in my world, don't worry. But we got to have that communication and that relationship, you know. So so I do send out a lot of referrals. I think I send out maybe probably about 25 a year, something like that, outgoing referrals. And they could be like investor opportunities and stuff like that. And because I definitely want to make sure I look after my A's. My A's are who are keeping my business alive. They're my cheerleaders. They're the ones that are sending me referrals. They're the ones introducing me to other agents in their market center who are also sending me referrals and stuff like that. So, you know, we always want to make sure it's a two-way kind of street. One of the best ways I found to send out referrals, outgoing referrals, is partner with your lender. Go talk to your lender and say, hey, if you have an outgoing referral and they're unrepresented in another state, let me connect them with an agent for you. So I have an agreement with all my lenders. I say to my lenders, I will send you 3 pieces of business this year if you can send me 1 unrepresented client in another state. And they go, oh my goodness, yeah, I have a ton of those, you know. There you go. And then I connect them with one of my referral partners. That was one of the best kind of outgoing referral sources I've had.
That's a golden nugget. That was worth this entire, hopefully, I hope you're gonna change people's lives with that one piece of information.
Yeah. So partner with your lenders, have an agreement with them. You know, there's one agent in our Rainbow network. Her name is Dylan, and she's in Texas. And oh my goodness, I love everything that she does. I don't know if you know her, but she's really cool. And she was one of the people that said, it made me laugh. She goes, we don't ask our vendors for like tacos and stuff like that, you know, tacos and notebooks and stuff. We ask them for business, you know. So I started applying that into my business and started saying to my vendors, hey, we'll send you X amount of business this year if you send us something back, you know, and we're only asking for one piece of business.
That would change a lot of people's lives on this. I'm sure, right? You guys just asked for one piece of business from who you guys utilize and use already.
Sure.
It's incredible. So you're
It's
already
not just lenders, it could be home inspectors, it could be your landscaper and stuff like that, you know. I mean, like my landscapers, they do all my tree work and stuff like that. I send them so much business. I just say, hey, just send me 1 piece of business a year and we're good, and I'll keep on referring you. They make so much money off me.
Any other questions? I know we have a lot, so I'm gonna keep this like a mastermind. We're all masterminding here. Do not be afraid to ask something, add to this. We definitely want some involvement here, and we have 30 people on here.
Hey, Scott.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Hey, Scott. My name's Monica, and I'm in the Temecula office of KW, and the Lakes has been kind enough to invite me here. But I'm also in the Rainbow Network, and I'll be in Scottsdale in May. I'd love to meet up with you.
Let's do lunch. Well,
Yeah.
May, so what are we in now? So yeah, I said, make. I can't wait. Let's do it. It's going to be hot.
All right. In the meantime, we'll see you in the Rainbow Network.
Absolutely. Come to the Zoom calls.
Okay. Will do.
Yeah.
I want to be in the Rainbow Network. Can I be in there?
Join.
It welcomes allies.
Yeah, I believe so. So
I
yeah.
think so.
I'm a supporter.
I don't know though.
Well, there's
Let us
also
have
other
our
great.
thing. Let us have our thing.
Yeah. There's also great other networks as well. Like there's the LGBTQ Real Estate Alliance, which is really great as well. And it's not just, I mean, there's other stuff as well. So, you know, one of the agents in my office said to me, like, she sat down, she's like, what can I do to do what you're doing? And I want to make my own referral group. And I said to her, well, what's your niche? You know, she goes, well, she said a joke. I was like, I don't know, I'm a young Christian single mom. And she said that as a joke. And I was like, that's your niche. There you go. Go make a group of like that, of other realtors in that same situation, you know? And she's doing really well with her referrals now, because like that's her niche, that's her thing, you know? So she's networking with all these people like her around the States. Boom.
I'm starting a chubby middle-aged Latina group.
It'll work.
I'm
There
in.
you go. There you go.
I qualified.
See, like if you guys, what I'm taking from this too is like if you guys find something you're passionate about, like, by the way, we have some vets on this call. We have a huge KW military network that's starting off, and there's actually a mastermind revolving around it and a few coming up about it. So you guys can find different niches, like how he did, what he did is just find people you want to be, connect with. Scott specifically finds people he wants to connect with and does it at a high level. So if you guys love dogs, maybe you guys could, specifically look at people that post pictures of the dogs that are realtors and connect with them, and something as simple as that, right?
Gotta find your tribe.
Exactly. I like that. Find your tribe.
Yeah, find your tribe, and then it's full steam ahead from there, because people like to do business they like, I mean, you're not going to do business with someone you don't like. So if you are familiar and are like your referral partners, job done right there. It's all downhill. Another thing I try and do as well when I'm making my calls, I'm always asking my referral partners. I'd be like, so Jay, who else do you know that's not in your market center but's in the same state as you that you send referrals to? Who should I connect with? So I also, because my goal is if I can get 2 people talking about me without me being there you go. So
that's perfect, because I've already tagged you in something before, because it works. If you ask me that, I already have 2 people I can refer you to in San Francisco.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So that simple question, I bet you I can ask anyone on this call, like, Susie, do you know anyone else in the Bay Area you can connect me with that's an agent? Like, I'm sure we could all come up with names.
who's in your network? That's what I want to know. I want you to be in my network, but I also want to know who's in your network, because I want to be in theirs too. And then that's how you build like a really integrated network, because if XYZ up in San Francisco is like, hey, I need an agent, oh, who's that person that you know? And boom, 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 there you go, job done, referral, right there. But yeah, I mean, referrals can be really, really powerful, and making those relationships is incredibly important, and it can be really easy. I recommend going to any KW event, in-person event you can go to. People are itching to go to these events now. COVID, well, I really don't know the situation with COVID right now. Is it gone? Is it here? Nobody really knows anymore. But, people are able to go to these in-person events now. People are itching to do that. So, let's get out and start networking and start speaking to each other.
I absolutely love this. Any other questions, you guys? Please don't be shy. Unmute yourselves, y'all.
I had a question when introducing the agent. Let's say if I'm referring something out, when introducing the agent to my my client, my buyer that's going to buy out there, do you let them know that, hey, I've worked with them before, or how do you make the introduction? What's your style?
So like I said, I only give referrals out to agents that are in my A's. Now, if you're in my A, it's either because, we've either done deals with each other before, your numbers are really, really good. We've been in a lot of conversation. I've seen and watched your business grow online or through other platforms. So, I always have that kind of conversation with the agent, and I know anyone that's in my A's, they've been highly vetted. So there's someone that is, I feel that they would reflect the same level of customer service in my business, in theirs as well. So I feel very, very comfortable handing my clients off to people. And that's the beauty of the ABCD system, is that when you have agents in your A's, there's going to be no issue there. So that's the conversation I have with my clients as well. I'm like, okay, so you're looking to buy in Montana. So I have this great agent in Montana, and this is how I know him, and this is his production, and he's going to look he's really going to look after you. Are you willing to have a conversation with them? And they go, oh yeah, we'll go with anyone that you recommend us to. And I was like, I know you would, but we're going to make sure that this relationship is right. So we start a group email, I introduce them with their contact details. And then, I also say to my referral partners, am I right to follow up with you in a week and kind of see how that relationship's going? Because I also want to know that if that relationship isn't working out, then I'm also not going to lose out on the referral, right? And that's kind of something I feel like is really important, that you need to also be double checking on your referral partners and seeing how things are going, because I am fully aware that, I can work with pretty much anybody, but sometimes those relationships don't work out, and not every referral coming to Arizona is going to be right for me. There's a lot of clients I've actually turned away because the relationship's not there, or they've been difficult to work with. It's more of a headache to work with someone like that than to pass them away. An example I have with that is I had one client, and it was about it was last year, and I put so much time into this client because they were so needy and the roof blew off their house and they were just cursed by God. I had no idea what was wrong with this person. And I put so much time into them that when I was looking at my numbers, like I wasn't closing anything else that month, you know, or the month after, because I wasn't lead genning because I was at this person's house all the time. So, you know, that wasn't the right fit for me. And it affected my business, but that client was the right fit for someone I referred them to, you know, and they got like a house on fire and they sold the house really quick. And I was like, well, that's something that I couldn't do. And I'm glad that you were able to do that. And I'm so glad that I got a 25% referral check. So it was worth my time. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that.
This is incredible, Scott. Thank you. I just want to begin by thanking you because you're absolutely phenomenal. Big fan. I look forward to, like I said, come down here to SoCal and you're treated right.
I've never been.
You've never been. That's
no.
We're gonna take you to the beach. Look, we're gonna connect after this. You have to come out here. Okay.
I would love to.
I could put you in front of several market centers when you come. So that way it's worth your while. Business expense, and you could we could do a tour. And you can speak at 3 or 4 market centers, and that way you grow your referral network. That's how I grow mine. I go speak at other market centers and grow my referral network.
I can't believe you never came to SoCal, and your nerd is like.
I know.
San Diego Pride this weekend. Come drive down here.
Yeah, when I first moved to the US, literally, I told you guys this before. Like I had nothing. I lived in a shed. I had like $200, and I worked with kids, and that's all I did. You know, when I first moved here. So I never really had the opportunity to travel anywhere else in the US apart from Arizona. I mean, I've been to the last time we were in Orlando, that was fantastic. And some other places, but you know, like I'm very unwell traveled. So I'm looking forward to getting around and seeing some places.
Family reunion's in California next year, so.
Yeah.
What's that, sorry?
Family reunion is in California.
In Anaheim. Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
That's
so maybe you extend your trip and come see us a little bit before that.
Absolutely.
Oh, he will. I'll be connecting with him. Yeah, man, I lost track of what I was going to say, but absolutely. So Scott, you have a really brilliant mindset because you really prove wrong all the people that say I don't know enough people. You came literally from a different country, not knowing not one person, financially not in the best position. And you really were able to make it out of that consistently by going to work. Like you said, you bunkered down with no plan B and made this happen for you at all costs.
Yeah.
Would you give some tips for that mindset and for people that are stuck in that mindset? And how can they shift out of that to, you know?
Yeah, for me, it was more of a kind of a sink or swim kind of mentality. Like I had a great job back in the UK. Don't get me wrong. I had a nice standard of living and stuff like that. But I mean, I still lived at home and stuff with my parents and stuff like that. I just finished college. Came to college. I was working at a department store and stuff like that. It just wasn't for me. So, you know, I wanted to move. And then moving out to Arizona, I was like, okay, you know, I need to figure out where I can kind of land to where I'm going to have a roof over my head. And that was at the summer camp. And, you know, then I got into real estate, and back then all the network that I had made, they were like, oh geez, Scott's a real estate agent, is going to want to sell my house now. No one wanted to do business with me. You know, so I struggled with that. You know, I was like, okay, you know, what am I going to do? How am I going to get business? And that's when I kind of thought, well, you know, these agents don't know how long I've been in the business for. let's start calling them. And I started doing that. And like I said, in my first year, I did 5 deals and they were all referrals, you know. I mean, that wasn't a great number of referrals to do in my first year, but I also was doing this part-time, and I taught fencing at summer camp at the same time. So that was that. So that helped. And then those 5 deals were able to give me enough capital to where I could be like, okay, I could do this full time for 3 months. And that 3 months, I've got to 10x everything. I got to 10x my lead generation. I got to get out. I got to start meeting people. I got to start talking to people. I got to start stopping people in Walmart and going, hey, how you doing? You know, when looking to buy some real estate, literally wearing my name tag, going grocery shopping. When I first started real estate, you know, I got like a deal out of that, and that was perfect, you know? So it's just stuff like that. you can't know where the business is going to come from, but the business is going to come from somewhere.
I love that. You can't know where the business is going to come from, but the business is going to come from somewhere. That's amazing. And you know that you went from teaching at a summer camp to becoming a realtor. You started off at a small place. You came to KW. I do notice that your emails, they're from the KW mailer system, so that's Command, right?
Yeah. So I use Command solely as my CRM, and it is one of the best CRMs out there in my opinion. We've looked at some other ones and looked at some features and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, I can add this plug on to this CRM for $50, or I can just use Command that does it for free. You know, so did Command have some issues? Oh yeah, it was a hunk of crap for a long time.
Yeah.
But now, like, I honestly feel, and there's some sections of it I still don't like, don't get me wrong. But there's facets of it that work really well and work at a high level. And you can definitely tailor those for your business. So, you know, I mean, like the referral section, like that is just like the holy grail of realtor information right there. You can click on any state, any city. You can find out where people are selling. You can find out what they're producing. You can find out their email address and their telephone number. What more do you want? Even their mailing address, their work mailing address. Like, what more do you want?
You literally utilize Command, and you found me in the white pages, my info in the white pages. Well, we connected before that, but you found my full info on the white pages. I didn't give you my full info, and this guy still mailed me something. You guys understand? He started off with a Facebook comment to a friendship, and I'm so grateful for that because that's KW culture. I'm so blown away, and I want to give you a big shout out because I'm so proud of you. In the last Q2, you guys, in the entire state of Arizona, over 65,000 agents, Scott made the top 1%.
I know.
Recently.
Yeah,
wow. So round of applause on the Zoom. I'm so proud of you. That's incredible. And that's, man, I'm so proud.
That was something we've been wanting to do for a little while, and something I didn't think it was going to be able to happen because when they called me, and it was my title company that does this graphic for them and stuff like that. They were like, "Hey, want to show you this?" And I was like, "Really?" Like, because I mean, yeah, it was a lot. I was a very proud moment, so thank you.
Scott, have you ever done Bold?
Yes, I have. I've done Bold and I've done Ignite, and you know, I mean, I think I've done Ignite maybe 3 or 4 times, and I would say Ignite is one of the best programs to do, even if you're an experienced agent. Go sit down and do Ignite, because again, a lot of my systems and models I use for my referrals for Ignite are the same thing. You know, they're one of the same thing. Bold as well, you know, the Bold 100. Like, I love doing the Bold 100, doing 100 contacts in one day. I try and do Bold 100 at least. Well, I don't do it in one day. I do it over a span of a week. But I try and do it at least once a week. Try and make 100 contacts in 1 week, or 100 phone calls. And then I always find out my conversion rate is about 50% for getting people to pick up or call me back. So, you know, that's something I always try as well.
And Jay and I call realtors, obviously, for recruiting purposes to the market center, and the response rate is like 2%. I think the fact that you start with KW to KW, they're going to listen to you. That's a huge advantage, you guys. You call another KW agent, they're going to listen to you, and because you're another KW agent. They're going to treat you in a different level of respect. So absolutely. And also, you know, I mean, like, especially with your location in California, a lot of people are moving from California and moving to different states. So when someone sees a California number, they're going to pick up because they know that that's going to be business. So, you know, use that to your advantage. Start calling agents in other states, in your feeder states. Find out where those feeder states are, and start making those connections. Because even if you don't have a buyer to send them, more than likely, if they're already connected with an agent moving from your state, that's a listing right there. We all love listings, right?
Right, we all love listings. This is phenomenal, like really, really incredible, Scott. I could have you talking for hours. We'll put something else on the calendar, but thank you from the bottom of my heart, you guys. Let's do a race to see who emails Scott first. So even Scott, you want to drop your email in the chat box is where we can thank you, is connecting with
Absolutely.
you, like you said, and you are in
Absolutely.
Scottsdale, Arizona.
So now when you guys think Scottsdale, you're thinking Scott. I like that.
Yeah.
I would market myself around that because you have Scott in Scottsdale. Do you do that? Do you
I
market?
do.
His
Scott,
S and
Scott in
his logo is
Scottsdale.
like Scottsdale.
Yeah, you should hear my voicemail. Scott in Scottsdale.
Scott in Scottsdale. So that's,
Yeah.
it's brilliant. And
Well, hey,
thank
I'll
you so
also
much.
drop my number as well. I know, I mean, when I'm on Zoom masterminds, I always think of questions like way after
Yeah.
the Zoom is like finished. So feel free to take my number, save it. I can text you my contact card if you ever have any burning questions, or even like questions like, hey, how does this work in Command? More than happy to have that conversation with you.
Wow, that's incredible. I'm so grateful that you're willing to do that for us. Just
Mhm,
having
yeah.
a contribution at such a high level.
That's
Really looking
part of it.
forward-
It's part of KW culture. You've got to come from the angle of contribution, right? And I feel, you know, that's how we've always run our business, and we've always had success with that. So
I have to get to 1 o'clock, but I want to say thank you. Thank you, Jay Chacon, for working so hard to get Scott over here. And Scott, thank you so much for pouring into us. All the this office is full of amazing business professionals that really care about their business. They're just graduating from Bold on Tuesday, and they're really excited. So I know that this could be, remember, you can have 4 legs to hold you up. This could be one leg of your business.
Exactly.
So take advantage. You're already at KW. You're already here. You already have the technology at your fingertips. You know, excuse aside, make the time to learn Command and implement these models and systems that you already have. No one's going to come rescue you. Do it yourself. All right. Bye, you guys.
Right?
See you later. Bye-bye.
All right, Scott, any closing thoughts, any closing comments? Once again, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate the time. This is not gonna be the first time. I got
No.
you back if you ever want me to talk over there or something, but
Yeah.
any closing thoughts to help these agents? Like Sophia said, the majority of these people on the Zoom call are currently in our Bold, and I want them to understand that it doesn't just end when Bold ends. 'Cause you
Sure.
said that you still do Bold
Sure.
100s.
Yeah, I do. Like I said, I do my Bold 100 every week. You know, over a span of a week. I can't do it all in one day every week. That would drive me insane.
Yeah, with agents.
We'd like to think that, right? So, you know, I think the biggest kind of takeaway I want people to take away is, you know, don't be afraid to call other agents, and, you know, really find out what your why is. You know, my why drives my business. And my why is that I want my business to support LGBTQ kids, you know, who have been kicked out from home and stuff like that, because I was in that same boat. So, you know, every time, you know, I feel, I don't want to make these calls, I tell myself, there's going to be gay kids on the street, and that's going to be your fault if you don't call these people today.
That's extreme, but it works. It really does. It's really true.
Yes.
It's really true, because there's so many, a majority of youth in our foster care systems
Yeah.
are LGBT.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I say to myself. So find your why, and you're nothing's going to be able to stop you in your business.
That itself, you guys, is find your why, and nothing will be able to stop you. I like that you think that, because it's extreme, but it works. If you don't prospect
Yeah.
that day, there's gonna be people relying on you. And I get emotional thinking about it, because Scott, you do a lot for the community, and I do see what you do for LGBT youth. And me being one myself, you inspire me. So thanks
Thank you.
again, Scott. You really inspire me, and I don't stop sending me emails. I better be on the A's, okay?
No, I'm putting you to a D now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you everyone that tuned in today, because it's not just, you know, for me or for Scott, it's for you. And this knowledge is for you. And please don't be that person that listens to another Zoom call and does nothing with it. This is your time to refocus. Make it one of your legs. And once again, please connect with Scott. Please connect with him. Add him on your white page. Add him on your referral network on Command. He is more than willing to answer a phone call. I know it. And when you think of Scottsdale, think of Scott, okay?
Thank you so much. Thank you,
guys.
guys.
Thank you, guys. This will be recorded and posted on YouTube, and share with other agents, okay?
Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.